I just want to ask you real quickly to respond to something. We talked briefly about 9/11 and the anniversary.
Sure.
And there's an ad that the conservatives are running. I just want you to take a look at it.
Sure.
New Yorkers have been through enough. Now a terrorist-sympathizing imam wants to build a $100 million mosque near Ground Zero. Where's this money coming from? Who's really behind it? Incredibly, Andrew Cuomo defends it, even though this imam said America was an accessory to 9/11. Andrew Cuomo is very
so you've seen this, I'm sure.
Yes, I have.
First, do you agree with the use of that footage? Because there were people who felt very uncomfortable with it, particularly given the sensitive nature of that Ground Zero footage.
Well, you know, the Conservative Party are principled and strong and focused. I think what you have to look at is what was the message. The message is that Andrew Cuomo was wrong, unwilling to address the issue, unwilling to get involved in a very important issue that affects New Yorkers. Now, there's a backdrop that people have focused on, and I understand that people have concerns about that, and I'm sensitive to that. And I've certainly looked at and watched some of the reaction to that, and that certainly wasn't what was intended, I'm sure. I mean, I wasn't involved in the production of it. It was a Conservative Party production.
Was it appropriate, though? Was it appropriate to use those images?
I think it's subject to someone's interpretation, and everybody looks at that a little differently. I think it's an important issue. I think that 9/11 is a tremendously important issue, and one that we have to, as we will tomorrow, spend some time focusing on. But the issue is not the backdrop, it's the front of that, and that is that Rick Lazio, principled, man of integrity, took on that issue without regard to the fact that some people were not going to like it, but took on that issue and said that Andrew Cuomo ought to be doing his job as Attorney General, much less focusing on trying to become governor. And he didn't, he wasn't, he hasn't, and he can't. But the reality is, I understand the concerns that have been expressed, and I really can't address those because those are individual concerns. I'm sure if people had to do it all over again and it was reviewed, maybe a different approach would be taken, but that really wasn't the focus. The focus was we need a governor who's willing to stand up for the people of New York State, to stand up and want to make sure that things that happen within New York State, particularly at Ground Zero, are things that are positive, reflect appropriately on that very special site, and really move us forward. And unfortunately, that hasn't been how that mosque has been presented. I don't think it does what it intends to do by the firestorm that's been created by it.